Hey guys, welcome back to theclinicaltrials.guru, theclinicaltrials.guru. Happy 2015. I'm on a roll this year. I don't know about you guys. The studies are flowing. The study feasibilities, the CDAs, contracts and budgets, a lot of stuff going on. Today's video I wanted to talk about, and of course your emails are still flowing. So Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. For those of you who don't know how it works, you send me your question either through email or through any social network that you want. I'm on just about every single freaking social network out there. And I will give you a video answer, and I'll keep you anonymous unless you otherwise tell me not to. Some people like me to mention their name. So today's question is actually very interesting. It's a very well thought out question. It's something that I'm not even sure I have the right answer. I don't think there is a right answer for it. I think there are many ways to go about it. So let me just read you the question, okay? And this can apply to just about any industry, not just clinical research. So you might see this on my business page, dansfera.com. You might also see this video on my real estate page, therealtorshow.com. So it says, "Hey Dan, I'm looking into options for rolling out some YouTube vids in the near future and have been considering pros and cons to personal branding issues. At this stage for me, the question is it better to run vids through a branded channel or through one's personal account? I assume you have thought about this in the past, and I'm interested to know your take on it, as I see you run your videos through your personal account rather than through a specific channel for your various blogs like Clinical Trial Guru, real estate, my business stuff." So yes, I do choose, and I've actually had an internal debate and an external debate with some people from my team a couple years ago when I started creating content that was not just clinical research stuff. So at the beginning it was very easy. I started my YouTube channel in 2010 and it was just clinical research stuff. Well, as my career evolved, I'm still doing lots of clinical trials, so I still produce videos like this one. Actually, it's the majority of my videos are still clinical research. But I've been doing lots of real estate videos ever since I became a realtor in 2013. In addition to that, I've been doing lots of business videos where I interview entrepreneurs that I think are doing cool and exciting things. I haven't done many of those lately, but I used to do a lot of those back in 2011, 2012. This year, 2015, one of the things I'm going to be doing is a lot of book reviews. So books that I've read, I'll give you guys my thoughts on it, whether I think you should read it, what I found helpful from the book, and what I thought maybe was not so good from the book. Just things to empower entrepreneurs. And what I've noticed is that a lot of the people watching the clinical trials guru stuff, they're business people, so they have other interests too. It's not just clinical research and they live in a vacuum or they live in a bubble and they're not exposed to anything else in the world. They're interested in the books I'm reading. They're probably interested in my first book review, The Art of Social Media by Guy Kawasaki, which I hope to do today. They're probably interested in listening to me interview other entrepreneurs from other industries, because oftentimes we can learn the most from other industries. And a lot of the stuff I talk about for my clinical trial audience, as far as how to recruit patients by using social media, how to get studies using social media and the internet, a lot of those things are the same story for my realtors. When I train my realtors on how to use social media and how to use the internet and how to use digital marketing to attract more customers and clients for themselves, it's often the same packaging with just different details interchanged. So to keep this answer relatively short, I think there is no right or wrong way to do this. It's what you're comfortable with. I think what I'm trying to do is build my own personal brand, and I still have separate websites for all these blogs. So from the clinical trial stuff, I have the clinicaltrialsguru.com. For my real estate stuff, I have both Sfera Real Estate for my local real estate content, meaning Southern California real estate content, and I have the realtorshow.com for the training that I provide to other realtors, the strategies, the advice I give to other real estate agents throughout the country or throughout the world, much like the Clinical Trials Guru is. And I still have dansfera.com, where kind of all the business stuff is thrown in together along with the book reviews and all that. I do it this way because I knew when I started clinical research that I was eventually going to do other industries. I was going to be involved in other industries. My goal is to buy the LA Clippers, the basketball team, and I'm going to get there by doing more than just clinical research. That's already apparent to me, and it's going to be more than real estate as well. It's going to be a number of different industries, and I think my hardcore followers, my hardcore fans, they'll accept this because they're curious in not only following me on my journey, but they're also interested in some of the things I talk about on my business blog, on my real estate blog, on my clinical trial stuff. They're interested in even in my local stuff, where I create a lot of content, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of that in 2015, where I'm creating a lot of content based on my local, hyper-local geographic area, Orange County, California, San Diego, California, Riverside, California, where I interview business people from those areas, because you can take those lessons there, you can basically copy what I'm doing there for your business, whatever it may be. If you own a clinical research site in Omaha, Nebraska, you can look at the way I conduct my hyper-local videos for my community in Orange County, and you can apply that to your community, Omaha, Nebraska, whether you own a research clinic there, whether you're a realtor there, whether you're an entrepreneur there that wants to build themselves up as an authority in that hyper-local space. So that's why I choose to have everything under one channel. And as I start working in other industries later, provided that YouTube is still around 10, 15, 20 years from now, which I still think it could be. I think it could. I don't think it's going anywhere in the next 10 years. So by then I might even start doing videos on other industries. I think people will accept it, they'll appreciate it, as long as you're being consistent with your videos, meaning you're still creating your clinical trial stuff so that your clinical trial followers are satisfied, and then you're creating all your other stuff consistently too, so that the people following you there are also getting what they want out of you, so you're providing value. So it's a value thing, really. It's a value exchange. In exchange for your time and your subscription, which costs nothing, but time is money, and so it's taking you a long time to watch a video. In exchange for your time, my job is to give you more value than what you could be getting elsewhere by you spending your time doing anything else but watching my videos. So I think as long as the value exchange is there, meaning you provide more value than what your customers or your viewers expect, I think you can kind of have them all under one channel. With that being said, okay, I do have separate channels. For example, Keller Williams in Irvine. So I work for Keller Williams in Irvine. That's my real estate broker. I just set up their YouTube channel. So they have one. It's called Keller Williams Irvine, and you can see a lot of my videos that are going to be going on the realtorshow.com under my Dan Sfera YouTube channel here. You're going to be seeing those very same videos, the real estate ones, on Keller Williams Irvine. Now, what I will change, because YouTube usually won't allow you to upload the exact same video on two different channels, you change the intros. So you'll notice at the beginning of this video that you're watching on YouTube, there's a Clinical Trials Guru intro. Okay. On my Dan Sfera one, there'll be a Dan Sfera intro. On my Realtor Show, there's a Realtor Show intro. So by changing the intros, YouTube sees it as a different video. They'll allow it to go up there. In fact, I looked up YouTube's terms of service for this very topic, and it says as long as the video is not exactly the same, meaning it's either clipped differently or has different intro or outros, they will accept it as two separate videos. So I think if you can, and if you have the time and the infrastructure to do both, I would do both. I would have your own personal brand channel, because you want to promote yourself, you want to brand yourself, and who knows, you may be involved in another industry 10 years from now. You may not be involved in clinical research anymore. Wouldn't it be good to have an audience already on your own personal brand that wants to hear from you talking about other things as well. So I think there is some value to that. And let me get to the second part of this question here, and that is, because he expanded on it, how to work different industries niches with one name. Is it better to use the one name or use various names? What are your thoughts on stage names? So like, my name is Dan Sfera, but I use the Clinical Trials Guru on the Realtor Show. I don't really have a stage name there. It's just Dan Sfera. I think it's more from a branding perspective, having like a name. It's not necessarily a stage name, but the name of the website is the Clinical Trials Guru. Many more people know me as the Clinical Trials Guru than they do as Dan Sfera. And actually, that's one of the things I do want to change, which is why I'm having all my content under my Dan Sfera channel, not just the Clinical Trials Guru stuff, because like I've explained before, I want to get involved in other industries and I want people to start knowing me for Dan Sfera, maybe the business guru or the realtor guru or whatever, but I chose not to use those guru brand names to confuse people. I don't want to confuse any more people. So I think there's value in using both. I think it's whatever you're comfortable on doing. I think you have to know your long-term vision. If you plan on just being in the clinical research space for a long time, but you also want some side hustles, you may want to have separate channels for those. Or if you really want to build up your personal brand, just do like I do and put all your videos under one platform. I've really had this debate with myself for a long time. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way, but this is the way I chose to do it. I think another thing is, if you want to attract more of an audience, the clinical trial space is still very small, very tiny, and the real estate and the entrepreneurship space is huge. So I think if you just want to generate more eyeballs, more visitors to come know you for who you are, you're better off having everything under one brand. That way you can attract more visitors, more subscribers. Because if I just kept this as a clinical trial YouTube channel, I would probably only have like a couple hundred subscribers, and my goal is to get a couple thousand subscribers, or maybe a couple 100,000 subscribers at some point. So I know that in order to do that, in order to get there, I'm going to have to start providing more content than just clinical research, but still remain consistent with the clinical research content to give value, continuing to give value to my audience on that. Another issue is, if you're in the eyeballs business, how can one make sure that a certain level of anonymity is maintained? Is it good to slightly abbreviate one's name? Is anonymity contrary to the aim? I guess it depends on the individual's end game. It does. I mean, I choose not to be anonymous because I don't think people, and I didn't actually talk about this in my other channel or in this video, in the previous videos I've done, where if it's much better to have a personal brand. People, somehow it resonates better with people when you have a personal brand as opposed to having a logo. So if you look on Dan Sfera YouTube channel, you'll see my face on there. If you look on Keller Williams Irvine, you'll see the logo. And people, at least I think subjectively, people resonate better with a person. This goes for Twitter, this goes for Facebook, this goes for LinkedIn. I think it goes for YouTube too. People resonate more with a personal brand rather than a corporate logo. There's a human element there. So as far as anonymity is concerned, which is very much related to this, I'm against it. I'm all for being authentic. The more authentic you can be, the better off you are going to get to be received by your audience and eventually customers. So I know this was a long video. I meant to keep it short. It was impossible, but it was a very good question, and let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'd love to hear more. It's Dan Sfera from theclinicaltrialsguru.com, dansfera.com, therealtorshow.com, and sferarealestate.com, right? Take care, guys.